Well, I know what's wrong with the world today is the people done gone put their Bibles away and they're living off the law of the jungle, not the law of the land. Man, when I tell you guys today's story that I found, I don't even know if you guys are going to believe it. A lot of y'all know, if you've been following the channel for a while, we sell firewood. It's one way we supplement some money around our homestead here. And today's story has to do with firewood, but I also have my sheep I'm going to feed real quick. So let's go over there. We're going to feed the sheep. I'm going to tell you today's story, and you are not going to believe it. Good book says, and I know it's the truth, well, it's an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Man, as we're going into this brave new world in America for 2024, I found this story for you guys, and I found it very interesting. You guys ready? Man unloading firewood was beaten to death with the logs by a naked suspect, and the suspect was arrested. You guys get ready for this stuff, right? A Texas man has been charged with murder after police say he beat another man to death in Fort Worth. The suspect allegedly used the victim's own firewood as the murder weapon in what was described as an unprovoked attack. Watch this.
Fort Worth police say a naked man beat a delivery driver to death in front of a home while that driver was delivering firewood. 27-year-old Chrysanthus Omande is in jail charged with murder. Police say after the brutal attack, he threatened a second person. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's family, and she is live at the Tarrant County Jail. Peyton.
Clarice, and that suspect is still here tonight, here at the Tarrant County Jail. The victim, Mr. Jackson, he was just doing his job. He was dropping off firewood at a home in Fort Worth. That homeowner came outside to help him unload the firewood. The homeowner was able to escape the attack. He tells us the suspect was acting belligerent and violent.
My daughter was talking yesterday about how he would bring her donuts every morning. And so bad, I just want him to walk through the door with donuts.
Casey DeLeon holds on to the days her dad spoiled her and her two girls. She lived with her father, 51-year-old Scott Jackson, in White Settlement. But Saturday evening, Jackson never came home.
I remember just telling my boyfriend, like, something's wrong. Like, my dad always calls me.
Last DeLeon heard, Jackson was delivering firewood to a home near Alta Mesa Boulevard and McCart Avenue in Fort Worth Saturday evening at 8 p.m. That homeowner, who did not want his name used or his face shown, spoke to Fox 4 Wednesday and recounted the terrifying ambush.
Fully believe that with my whole heart that he was out to murder both of us.
Police say 27-year-old Chrysanthus Omande was naked and aggressively approached the two men as they were unloading the firewood from a U-Haul.
This naked man just was probably like 3 inches from my face, holding a key up to me, yelling at me that I was on his property. He never wants to see me here again and I should leave. Scott then replied, no, this is his property. This is his house. Just let us unload firewood so we can go home because it's cold outside.
The homeowner says that's when Omande pushed him and then struck Jackson with a piece of wood. Omande then chased the homeowner back inside his house. The homeowner then watched Omande go back over to Jackson and beat him to death with the firewood.
I'll never be able to call my dad again. I'll never be able to see him. I'll never be able to. So, like, at this moment, I have so much hate towards him. I have so much anger.
According to an arrest warrant affidavit Fox 4 obtained on Wednesday, Omande left Jackson and barricaded himself inside the Airbnb he was staying in across the street. Fort Worth police arrived and heard screaming from inside the home. Later, investigators learned there was another woman staying in a different room at the Airbnb. She told officers Omande tried to force his way into her room, and he appeared high on an unknown substance and was in fear for her life. Omande eventually came outside, but didn't comply with officers. He was tased and eventually taken into custody.
I just hope people watch their surroundings, and I just hope that justice is served. That's all I want for my dad.
And neighbors tell me Omande had just checked into the Airbnb a few days before the murder took place. He does have a criminal history, including evading arrest, and also last year he was accused of holding a security guard at gunpoint here in Tarrant County.
But I hope you guys are understanding what's going on as people are entering our country illegally. and I'm not saying what he was or wasn't. I'm just listening to his name and thinking about some dude walking around naked and beating somebody to death with firewood. I'm thinking that's, you know, probably not somebody who grew up with American values. Man, my heart goes out to the poor guy delivering firewood. It's just disgusting, you guys. So just make sure you got your head on a swivel. You know, if any crazy naked men come after you, make sure you're watching your six. I'm gonna give them some water real quick. Oh, it was a little slow coming out, but there it is. Holding its own so far. I got to get some heat in that room. But the moral of the story today, before you guys get out of here, is don't let anybody invade your private space, right? Don't let anybody just come walking up on you, getting within an arm's reach of you, especially some stranger, and especially somebody who's walking around butt naked in public, right? So there's just got to be some things you guys are going to have to take care of yourself. The police are here to do paperwork. The most capable hand is at the end of your wrist, okay? So this year, we're gonna be talking about a lot of cool stuff. We got a lot of cool stuff going on behind the scenes. They have a lot of not so cool stuff going on behind the scenes. Stacy and I have a lot of cool stuff going on behind the scenes. Go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com if you want to check out some of our articles, our store, some of the links that we have to save you money. And otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next video, okay? But whoever would have thought you could, you know, be beat to death with the firewood that you're delivering. Share this video with a friend too. I think people need to start wrapping their head around what's going on. Now, I'm not sure if you guys paid attention to the news article or not. I'm glad you stayed to the very end. The man got away from the firewood wielding maniac and went inside his house and watched as the firewood guy was brutally murdered with the firewood. I want you to let that sink in for a second. What would you do?
The homeowner says that's when Omandi pushed him and then struck Jackson with a piece of wood. Omandi then chased the homeowner back inside his house. The homeowner then watched Omandi go back over to Jackson and beat him to death with the firewood.
I just hope people watch their surroundings, and I just hope that justice is served. And that's all I want for my dad.